And to pass a law, and this is a zoning law, you can call it whatever you want, is an unconstitutional taking of property. It's going to give rise not only to litigation on behalf of what's been referred to as, the nice little jingle went, developers, which I take as a personal insult, because I'm not a developer, and I do happen to own a lot of land, and I'm a longtime resident. My brother lives here full-time, Roger Gair, who many of you may know, and I'm not a developer, but I am a taxpayer, and I would venture to say that my family pays more than, in taxes, more than 99% of those of you sitting here today. And I resent being given a moratorium at the last minute, which was, to me, surreptitiously developed and proposed. I only got it thanks to Marie Zarconi, who I've known for many years, who provided it to me, who called me at my office in the city, and I immediately wrote Supervisor Davis to note my constitutional objections. We went through this almost 3 years ago today, and I provided at that time every board member with a briefing book, which I developed myself, although it's not my area of expertise. I know how to look up the law, and that was when the town wanted to extend the moratorium. The moratorium wasn't extended. At that time, that administration on the board was Bob Tendy. And I recall that they did at that time a full and complete study that was published, and zoning regulations were issued. 3-acre zoning was implemented. And I'm not talking here in my own self-interest, but I don't understand how Supervisor Davis, how you could expect my family not to at some point, with the ever-increasing exorbitant school taxes, not to sell our land. Because we simply are getting to the point where we can't afford it. And because of our love of this town, we have resisted developing it at all. And we have developed none of it. In fact, we had to sell part of our property in order to pay taxes, okay? And it is simply unconstitutional. I don't know what the commercial people are going to do who have already money invested in this, but I can tell you this, that as a major property owner, I consider this an unconstitutional taking of property, further infringement by the government on our personal property rights. Most of us here, our major investment is our home and the property upon which it stands, and I am tired of government intrusion. The United States elected a so-called conservative Republican who unfortunately turned out not to be a true conservative. I'm more of a pragmatist, but as far as government intrusion on my life goes, I'm a conservative. And I don't believe that this board has the right, under the guise of a moratorium, to pass a zoning law. And it is going to generate hundreds and thousands of dollars of legal expenses by the taxpayers of this town to defend numerous lawsuits. It's ill thought out, it's ill-conceived, and at the very least, it should be tabled for an indefinite period of time until experts can be called in to study if this is a real problem.
Thank you, sir.